The quantity of severe cases of online child sexual abuse material has doubled in the last 2 years, and even infants and young children are among the victims. An online monitoring team has discovered an alarming surge in cases of child abuse. The exploitation of juveniles for sexual purposes has become a lucrative business for criminals, and this heinous act is no longer restricted to the darker corners of the internet. The latest report has uncovered the harrowing reality that even the youngest and most vulnerable in society, such as newborns and toddlers, fall victim to the most severe forms of online sexual exploitation. The study has shown that the amount of extreme content has doubled in the past 2 years, further highlighting the urgent need for action to protect innocent children. The IWF made efforts in 2022 to eliminate or restrict access to 51,369 web pages that hosted Category A material of child sexual abuse. The IWF discovered 20,050 Category A abuse pages in 2020, but the amount of extreme content has now doubled since then. In 2022, the organization uncovered an unprecedented number of URLs featuring such content. Imagery classified under Category A is the gravest, with the most severe forms of sexual abuse falling under this category. According to the report, the severity of abuse tends to worsen with younger children. In fact, a staggering 81% of the images depicting children aged 2 years and younger showed evidence of Category A abuse. In contrast, only half of the content pertained to children aged 3 to 6 years, while 20% was aimed at those aged 7 to 10 years. For children aged 11 to 13 years, the proportion was even lower at 17%. Sky News was informed by Susie Hargreaves, OBE, CEO of IWF, that their analysts have observed an increase in child exploitation cases. Notably, the age of the victims is decreasing. After 12 years, it still shocks me that newborns to 2-year-olds were subjected to the worst abuse. These are the most defenseless and vulnerable children who are being preyed upon and mistreated by adults, the speaker expressed. It's crucial for individuals to understand that this is a grave matter with severe consequences. As of late, Category A material has grown to represent a larger share of the content that the IWF encounters. From 17% in 2020 to 18% in 2021, and now 20%, the organization receives reports from the public while also actively scouring for content. As per the IWF report, a significant number of minors being filmed are not aware of the ongoing activity. Moreover, there is a rise in self-generated content, depicting children who have been forced into compromising acts by an abuser operating from a distance. Ms. Hargreaves, in her report, expressed the need for greater transparency regarding the extent of abuse they encounter, despite their initial reluctance to traumatize the public. Her belief is that people need to understand that the abuse they encounter involves children as young as 7, who are directed and coerced to perform naked under the influence of manipulative individuals. In an interview with Sky News, she emphasized that the organization refrains from passing judgment on pornography in general. Specifically, she mentioned that labeling the images as child porn is inaccurate. In her statement, she emphasized that referring to it as child porn has an adverse effect on the children who have been exploited. She asserted that such a term undermines the gravity of the abuse they have faced. She emphasized that this is not a victimless crime and implored individuals to recognize that genuine children are at the core of this issue. According to her, there was a courageous survivor who she once encountered. This individual was rescued at the tender age of 12 and has since grown to be 20 years old. A woman shared a harrowing experience with her friend. While shopping, a stranger approached her and acknowledged seeing her pictures online. This chance encounter left the woman feeling constantly frightened as she confided, "I am scared every day." Naming things as they are, this is nothing but the maltreatment of children who are the most helpless and in need of our care and guardianship. Every 90 seconds in 2022, the organization evaluated a web page. Shockingly, every other assessment revealed a web page depicting child sexual abuse. The horrendous sexual abuse and exploitation of children is being monetized by criminals, and it's no longer limited to the shadowy corners of the internet. As an internet content analyst at the IWF, Rosa expressed her concern at the cold, business-like approach taken by these websites towards child sexual abuse. The normalization of this heinous crime is unsettling and alarming. As she commented, Category A material is easily accessible with just one click. This poses a significant threat to public safety, as such extreme content is no longer confined to obscure corners of the internet, but is now out in the open for all to see. Generally, these sites are not hosted by well-known hosting companies. Instead, they are frequently found on servers owned by obscure businesses based in Europe or Asia. Due to legislation allowing rapid removal of websites, less than 1% of data is stored on servers in the UK. This makes it difficult for criminals to profit from online child abuse. The victims of abuse are still predominantly British children, but the perpetrators' hosting of such content outside the country makes it challenging to remove. Ms. Hargreaves notes that analysts frequently hear domestic commotion and the voices of parents in the background of children's bedroom recordings, leading parents to believe their children are safe. Ian Critchley, who leads the NPCC's child protection and abuse investigations, expressed deep concern over the surge in severe criminal offences discovered. The increase in harmful material accessed by internet users not only heightens the risk of exposure to dangerous content, but also highlights the complete disregard criminals have for the lifelong damage caused to children. It's crucial to understand that viewing such material is a serious offence, and it is not without victims. The children in these videos are real and have been harmed. His words were clear and direct. Should you come across this and feel troubled by your own thoughts and actions, know that it's not too late to change. Offences committed can have lasting repercussions. Don't hesitate to seek help immediately. Tom Tugendhat, the Security Minister, emphasised the importance of bringing child sexual abusers to justice. He acknowledged the significance of the Internet Watch Foundation's work in curbing the proliferation of child sexual abuse material online and targeting offenders who exploit the suffering of minors for profit. Furthermore, it is crucial for companies to prioritise the incorporation of safety measures into features like end-to-end encryption. This is to guarantee that they are not inadvertently turning a blind eye to any misuse that may be happening on their platforms.